Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go.
Good evening, watchers. Welcome to another movie review tonight. Tonight I've been watching earlier on I've been watching a film called There's Only One Jimmy Grimble. This film should be on Blu-ray. It's a really good football film, by the way. It's about a kid called Jimmy Grimble, of course. It's a drama, but it's got comedy to it at the same time. It's got great. Actually, the film is actually funnier than some of the films I've seen, late American comedy movies I've seen. You know, like the updated, you know, these new comedy films you usually see. This film is a lot funnier. It's crazy because it's not really a comedy, but it does have humour in it. It's a drama, a football film, and it stars Robert Carlyle, Ray Winston, and Gina McKee. She's nice. Anyways, and she plays Jimmy Grimble's mother. Of course, Jimmy Grimble's a Manchester City fan, which is and no negative sides of me, but I've got nothing against Manchester City. I've got my Forest to put up, but this film is really good. It's one of the films that you don't hear much about, and it's not even on Blu-ray, which is a damn criminal offence. It's a really good film. I was just saying, wow, I forgot how good this film was. I saw it years back when I was living out of Ras. I think I watched it with my mum, dad, and we was all sitting there watching it. I thought that was such a good football film. I'm not sure what year it was. 2000. It's an old film, it's quite an old film, but I remember watching it and I just thought that's such a good football film. Anyway, then my dad was laughing, it was like, it's just because that last part where it says about Manchester City, the kid does, and the kid's great, he's a great footballer by the way. You see at the beginning that doing ball skills at the beginning of the film, and he's pretty talented. I was like, yeah, this guy's good. Anyway, so yeah, good solid performance from the cast. So anyway, he plays like a Manchester City supporter. Of course, he lives with his mum. His mum's got his new boyfriend, who's a bit of a hard nut, but he's not really hard, but he's not. And God, I can't remember what I seen his mum on, but she's a very attractive woman, by the way. Yeah, I've seen quite a lot of films. No, I can remember, and I can't remember what she was on, but I was like, oh, look at her, check it out. Anyway, forget about that. So anyway, he's getting bullied by these kids. He gets bullied by these kids that support Manchester United, of course. They have to support Manchester United. Actually, one of the kids, remember, is on the bill and stuff like that. So yeah, of course they start bullying, piss on his bag and stuff like that, of course. And later on, right, he meets this like old lady, this old woman in this, because at the part of the film, right, he's getting chased by the kids, right, and of course, because he's out so it's raining and stuff like that. And this old woman like helps him out and brings him in, of course, into this deserted house where she lives. This house, rundown house. And of course, this is where he gets a new pair of boots from. Of course, he thinks they got special powers to fly. And then you're watching, you think, oh, these boots are quite cool. You know, they've got special powers. You know, and I actually thought when I was thinking, these boots have definitely got special powers. Of course, later on you find out that it's not the boots that give him his powers. It's his feet. You know, it's a bit of a spoiler there, but yeah. Because what happens with his boots later on in the film, of course, he's playing for a team called what's the team called? Greenock. Is it Greenock? Greenock. He's playing for a football team, and of course, Robert Carl's the coach of that team. Of course, some of the bullies that were bullying him actually play for that same team that he plays on. Of course, along the way they play some other football sides to reach the football cup that they're in. That is somewhere, and of course at the end is like they play at Main Road, of course. They play at Manchester City ground. The football's great in this. I love the football. I love the way he puts the boots on, right? And he scores probably the best goal ever made. You think, what a great goal that was. Because the ball he's playing this other team, right? This real quite rough side, right? So he goes on a substitution, right, of course. And he scores a fantastic goal because the ball kind of comes towards him, right? And he whacks it and he goes right over, zooms over all the players, over the goalkeeper and straight in. It's a great goal. So yeah. And that's the start of things. What happens in this film? They beat other teams to reach the final. Of course, what happens to the boots later on? I'll cut this. I won't. It's not going to be a long review because, you know, sometimes when I do a long review, I've got to freaking cut bits off and it takes forever. Anyway, like I said, his mum's. Of course, Ray Winston's an ex of her. No. She was dating him, but of course he's still married to another woman, of course. Then there's twists and turns. Of course, there's actually there's this girl in it. Like she was on Emmerdale. No, she's on Corey Street, right? Oh yeah, nice. So yeah, she's on Corey Street, right? Of course, he likes her. Of course, then they have some kind of falling out later on in the film. Kind of a falling out, not like a serious kind of thing. Of course, Jimmy Grimble has to find out where these boots come from. I can't remember the character's name. Is it Robbie Bryce? It's some, I can't remember that. It's Robbie Bryce. Is it Bryce? Robbie Brucey Boy? Something like that. Of course, then you find out where the boots come from, right, in the film. So you think, that's where the boots come from. And of course, because at the end of the film, right, I've cut this review short. Of course, like I said, they're beating other teams, scoring great goals, of course. And at the end of the film, they go to main road, face some team called was it Huntington? Is it? Yeah, Huntington, right? And of course, Finger's character, the bowler, who has blonde hair, so not a nice guy. Good footballer, but not a nice guy. Nicks his boots and throws them in the river. Of course, Jimmy Grimble's playing badly at the end, right? So like thinking, he's thinking to himself, he's got no confidence anymore. It's like it's like anxiety and he's just not scoring. Of course, Robert Carroll's character, Reese Winston, gives him a bit of confidence at the end. You give him a bit of a talking to, of course, but Finger's character, Robert Carroll's character, gives him more of a talking to, the coach. And of course, that kind of things, And of course, later on, you find out where the boots come from. And of course, that switches things around a little bit. That makes Jimmy Grimble's gears go around in his head, what's going off. And of course, he finds out that the boots aren't as special that you expect. They're not that special. Of course, then that's where he starts playing well again. So yeah, because he's playing really badly. It's like giving the ball away and stuff like that. And actually, of course, the other team are like kind of say, they're blaming him, of course. But yeah, really good fun. I was like, wow, I forgot how good this film was. Jimmy Grimble. There's only one. I love football films, dramas and stuff like that. Footy, not soccer. In America, it's soccer, but in England, it's footy, football. Yeah, so it was directed by John Hay. I don't know. I've no idea who that is, but yeah, good performance from the cast. The boots are like meant to be magic, but they can, and I won't say too much about the boots. All I say is it's not what you expect. But yeah, I remember watching this years back. I just thought, what a good football film. And I thought, then later on, like a year back, I can't remember when I got this now. A few months back, I thought, when's that film called? That football film. Oh my bad, I watched it again. I think I got it on eBay. I'm sure I did. Jimmy Grimble. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got this. But yeah, great football film. It's like one of those football films you've got to watch. You've seen a lot of football films, but this one's very different to things. It's not like when Saturday comes, so it's a bit more light-hearted than that, a bit more, because that's got a lot of swearing in it. But this one's a bit more fun and light-hearted. So yeah, I'm gonna cut this review short. I'm gonna like I said, it's magic boots. It's about a film called this kid called Jimmy Grimble's got magic boots. Of course, you're gonna find out where the boots come from. Then you find out where the boots come. Of course, that kind of like changes things at the end of So yeah, of course, he turns out to be quite special. His feet turn out to be quite special. Of course, he's got special feet. So yeah, that spot was great. Great music. Oh, another thing I like about this one, the music's fantastic, and it's got some great music in this. Proper British music, of course. So yeah, it's got great music in it. No terrible freaking, So yeah, great music, great performance from cast, and great humour. Really funny humour. I like the last part where he kicks the ball at Finger's head and he scores. And that scene was so funny. It was and I like the way when the slow motion is, it's his face is like, ugh. His face kind of goes, and it's very funny. It's a funny scene at the end. I just thought that was a great scene. So yeah. What a great way to score a goal is that actually hit the ball at someone's face and actually, jeez, I bet that bloody hurt. I've actually, when I was at school once, someone kicked the ball, blasted up my face. Oh, boy. I don't think it was a hard ball. It was one of those plastic ones, I think it was, but it still bloody hurt. So yeah. So anyway, the rating I'm going to give this film is an 8-0. 8 out of 10. 8-0. Because that's how it is, because it's on football scores, when they score 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, 5-0, 6-0, 7-0, 8-0. So it's 8-0 for this film, because it's really well acted. Great humour in it, and it made me laugh. I tell you, it's like more funny than some of the films that you get now, the comedies now, honestly, the American ones of course. It's because it's genuine when you watch it. It's got great humour. You can straight away put the heart in this film, and you know you can tell these people who did this film are actually football fans. It's not daft. It's fun. It's enjoyable, and it's quite uplifting too. So yeah, I'm not a Manchester City fan, but this is a good football film if you like football. Even if you don't like football, you think you'll like it. So yeah, 8-0 for Is Anyone Jimmy Grimble. Really good film. Really enjoyed it. Is Anyone Jimmy Grimble. Kind of wish I'll see a sequel to this one. That'd be great. So yeah, 8-0 for Jimmy Grimble. 8 out of 10. So yeah. So anyway, people, there's my review of There's Anyone Jimmy Grimble. British football films that are, I can say I love football films, soccer films. I like to say football films because it sounds better. So yeah. And so anyway, that's my totally flawed movie review of that film. Great film, great football film. I think it's up there the top football films of all time. So yeah. So yeah. Anyway, people, I'm gonna go off now. I've got other stuff to do and upload and shit like that to put together. And maybe have a nice evening. Take care and enjoy the totally flawed movie review of Is Anyone Jimmy Grimble. And have a nice evening. Remember to subscribe to the channel, and you can agree or disagree on my review of this film. So I don't give a monkey. So anyway, have a nice evening. Take care, and may the balls be with you. See ya.